for day number 2 of the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games. We are at the Morgan Hills Outdoor Sports Center. I'm Chase Ingram. Along with me is Bill Grunler. Bill, after we go from the first event, the standings, Tia-Clair Toomey sitting on top of the leaderboard, 470 points, but Katrin Davidsdottir has moved into second, just above Haley Adams.
You know, it's been a jump back and forth from that second place to fourth place for the most part. Tia is really solidifying her position up at the top of the leaderboard. And like we said, if it's not niche and it's CrossFit, she's going to hammer at what she's doing. But that battle for that second and third has just been a humongous battle.
Well, if you think about an event that should bode well for someone like Katrin Davidsdottir, it's this event, the Snatch Speed Triple, as we have a tiered speed ladder from semis, quarters, into the finals.
It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, but it's all about precision, and that's what these ladies, are they going to let that anxiousness get to them or not, or are they going to be able to handle it?
Let's just keep them behind this white line so they're free of media.
Coaches behind the white line, and then also between the yellow.
Go fast.
Five will enter, one will leave. As the CrossFit Games version of Thunderdome is underway with event number 7. Your lane assignments coming in. Tia-Clair Toomey will sit in the middle lane, your overall leader after 6 events, but you got some hard charging athletes bracketing her in lane 2 and lane 3 with Haley Adams and Katrin Davidsdottir.
And Katrin Davidsdottir, this is an event that we know she likes to do. She loves to snatch, she loves to go fast, but she usually loves the crowd too, so I'm expecting how's she going to be able to respond without the crowd. That's going to be interesting to see it happen.
Stand by.
Fast and Furious starts, 3 barbells on the competition floor, 3 lists to determine which 4 will continue on. Tia-Clair Toomey in the center lane, done with rep number 1, on to rep number 2. Well ahead of the rest of the field with Brooke Wells. Haley Adams is well behind, but it'll be Tia-Clair Toomey in lane number 3 just across the finish line. In a race in the finish between Carrie Pierce, Katrin Davidsdottir, and Brooke Wells.
Wow, that was way faster than we thought it was going to be. And again, we knew that Haley Adams would have some difficulty with the strength, but I tell you what, that battle for the third and fourth, who gets to go to that next round, was very, very tight.
Haley Adams struggling with that last bar. Not a surprise here. One of the athletes that struggle with the heavier tiered weights. She handles high volume, high percentage weights well, but it's those max lifts that tends to be the problem for her. Again, 19 years old, and she's still sitting nearly tied for second place.
There she goes, gets that lift. Nice.
As Haley Adams will cross the finish line. We now have our 4 moving on to the semifinal. Four moving on, starting with 5, moving on to the semifinal portion of the Speed Snatch Ladder.
Good, see?
We started with 5, down to 4, and only 3 will advance out of the semi-final round into the final round. Tia-Clair Toomey won the first part. Three barbells standing in the way, but determine which 3 athletes will move into the final round. Tia-Clair Toomey, your 3-time CrossFit Games champion, off to a very quick start, moving to the 165-pound barbell. In the first round, it was a dead tie between your 3 athletes chasing down Tia Toomey. She'll hit this. It's going to be a race across to see who will get into that final set. It's going to be Katrin Davidson and Brooke Wells.
That was impressive.
Carrie Pierce unable to hit the last bar. She got there nearly in second place, but bailed that bar behind her.
And I saw Katrin and Carrie were both basically rep for rep in the first round as well, so I was really expecting this round to be kind of the telltale. I didn't think that Carrie was going to get shot out the back the way she did, but that was in. And the problem is like they're only taking that. So if you're last, you're kind of done. So great shot for Katrin. That was a nice position for her to get into. She needed those points. Now we have our top 3 girls going head-to-head.
And the weights are going to increase one more time as we move into the final round. Advancing again, Tia won the quarterfinal, won the semifinals, but the scores reset every single time. They don't advance forward. But as Carrie Pierce, who will be eliminated, we dropped off Haley Adams in the first round. But Tia Toomey, what more are you going to say about this?
Well, I mean, if you're going to have an Olympian come out for an Olympic lifting race, you are expecting her to do so well, and she did just that. See, power snatches for the first round, very simple. I wouldn't even call them squat snatches for the second round, but a great chance, and I say chance, for Katrin Davidsdottir. She made those lifts. I was really expecting that last one to be difficult for her, but the fact that she was able to get in there and Carrie got shot out the back was a great position for her to get into that last round. They're just not able to keep that bounce and shot her out the backside.
So Carrie Pierce will be eliminated, and we have our final 3 athletes moving into the final, but all led by Tia Toomey. And she finished that last bar and immediately ran to sit down.
Well, that's Olympic lifting style, right? You do your lift, then you hang out.
2 athletes joining her, Brooke Wells and Katrin Davidsdottir. Wells and Davidsdottir were nearly in a dead tie in the quarterfinal and semifinals. They have yet to separate themselves from each other, but Katrin Davidsdottir, she is one to look out for. She's a 2-time champion, second only to Tia-Clair Toomey, who's a 3-time champion in this field. But when we're talking about snatches under pressure, you're looking at Katrin Davidsdottir. Bill, let's look at your keys presented by Ramwad.
So first and foremost is perfecting your pace. You have to know that when you step up to the bar, you're ready to go so that you can make it. Actually, it's going to be more about precision and power is what you need to have. You have to know you're going to make it, because if you miss it, you're out. If you miss a rep, you're done. And if you miss that, that's the end of the race. So you have to make them count. It's about being 100% confident and 100% perfect and precise.
Katrin Davidsdottir is the only athlete that finished this second part and walked directly to the start and has been standing there staring at that first bar, waiting for this final to go.
Well, she's such a visceral athlete. She looks, she visualizes what's going to happen, so she's got really gets in her head so she can focus and visualize what she wants to do. She needs that here because she has two very powerful athletes to contend with.
Our final round, barbell weight, 175, 180, and 185. Third and final round underway to determine who will win event number 7. Tia Toomey right off the bat gets her first rep. Close behind is Brooke Wells and Katrin Davis-Daughter walking slowly to the second bar, but Tia Toomey wasting no time at 180. Toomey up to the final bar, 185 pounds. She won the quarterfinal. She won the semifinal. And with this last lift, Tia Toomey will win the final and her second event for day number 2.
Absolute crushing. She annihilated those bars. And great job by Brooke Wells as well. Same thing. Very confident every single rep she stepped up to.
Brooke Wells will come in second. Katrin Davis-Daughter has already locked up third. Whether she gets this bar or not, she will still walk away with a third place finish in this event.
Nice big pull, Kat.
So for her right now, there's
on,
no
this.
reason to rush. You can either run the timeout, make your attempts trying to get this lift. I mean, she's a champ, so she wants to go and make that lift, so she wants to finish the event. But the fact that she got into this with Brooke Wells and with Tia, I mean, she did exactly what she needed to do.
She got a second place finish in event number 6 to start the day, coming off her first place finish in event 5 last night.
There we go.
And she'll nail 185 and get a third place finish for event number 7. She was in tied for second place coming into this event.
Right.
Now she should securely hold that position coming out of this event.
Now you look at your second place finisher in this event, there's that smile that Brooke has. When she does well, she seems very confident and smiles, but this is what she needed. She's bouncing back off of some rough 5th place finishes, but then here we get her in an event where she can excel. Every time she grabbed the bar, it was confidence. Just like what we saw in the CrossFit Total. Same poise, same confidence, same smile, and same execution. Boom, look at that. And the smile as she's finishing. That's the Brooke that we want to see.
Brooke Wells getting second place in event number 7. Katrin Davis-Daughter missed her first attempt, but at 185, we know she definitely has done more than this, but in this speed format, it's a lot different. But Davis-Daughter, with that 185, will get third overall in event number 7.
And then look at I mean, come on. Olympic lifter in an Olympic lifting race, the fittest woman on the earth, and she tosses these bars around. No big deal. Not even a problem. Not even a problem. She made this event look like an actual warm-up.
Tia Toomey with back-to-back event wins for day number 2 is down with Nikki Fraser.
Obviously, every event that we throw your way comes with its own specific type of pressure, but when it's sort of elimination rounds, how does that change the game for you?
Oh yeah, it definitely heightens a lot of things. You got to make sure that you're extra focused, and especially with speed ladders like that, with a technical lift like the Snatch, you want to make sure you got everything dialed in.
You, with your Olympic weightlifting background, looked like you were having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah.
Where on the fun scale did this type of event land for you?
Well, I think that any speed ladder is always a lot of fun, not just for spectators, but also for the athletes as well. We get to test our limits and go as fast as we can.
Still a lot of unknown in the competition coming up here.
Yeah.
How does that affect your mindset when you are dialed in and trying to focus on the job at hand?
Honestly, just focusing on the task at hand, trying to just be present. There's no point on worrying about what's to come when we have a job to do right here, right now. So that's how I manage it. And now that that's done, I'm looking forward to the next one. So,
well, congrats. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tia Toomey just notched her 5th event win of the weekend. She'll get 100 points for event number 7. Brooke Wells, a much-needed 75 with Katrin Davis-Daughter at 55 pounds. So Tia-Clair Toomey with her 5th event win is now going back and forth with Matt Fraser's maybe who can get the most event wins of the weekend. But we saw Haley Adams. We knew it would be a struggle for her. But 19-year-old Haley Adams is one of the youngest athletes here at the CrossFit Games. But she certainly does not act like it or on and off the competition floor. And one of the big reasons for that, the people she has around her on a daily basis. Here's a closer look at how Haley Adams has gotten so good so quickly, presented by Reebok.
Youth and wisdom don't often go together. At 17 years old, Haley Adams was wise enough to realize one thing. To be the best, she needed to train with the best.
Once you surround yourself with like-minded people, you can only grow from there, and that's exactly what happened here.
Rich Froning saw a lot that he liked in Haley Adams from the beginning. He saw himself.
There's just that killer instinct that she has that you can't teach. You know, a lot of people are like, coach me on how to be more competitive, and it's just you got it or you don't.
Adams has it. And that's why she fits in so well at CrossFit Mayhem, especially with Games veteran Tasia Persevich.
She's incredible, truly. Like, I adore her outside the gym just as much as I adore her inside the gym. She pushes me, she pushes Rich, she is an incredible athlete, for sure.
Just to have that emotional support and then, like I said, just getting pushed by them daily, I think has made me grow into what I am today.
Right now, Haley Adams is one of the best in the sport. If she stays in Cookeville, she can't help but get better.
This really is a family, and I know that I have a great training group to train with every day, but also great friends, and they believe in me probably more than I believe in myself. I'm just so thankful for them.
I think without a doubt, Haley Adams can win the CrossFit Games. The one thing you can't teach is that mentality and that little bit of nasty and that competitiveness, and she has that. I think the rest of the girls should be a little scared of Haley Adams for sure.
Well, we were curious how Tia Toomey is going to bounce back after the end of day number 1, and she bounced back in a big way for day number 2.
Yeah, like I said, CrossFit is no problem for her, and as long as it's CrossFit, she's going to handle it. She's doing just that.
Tia Toomey sitting on top of the leaderboard by 160 points. David's on her solidly in second with Brooke Wells in third. The women are done with event 7, but it'll be the men's turn to tackle the Snatch Speed Triple when we return.
This is Ron. Well, this was Ron. Kind of sounds like Ron is dead. Let's start over. This was Ron. Obese, high blood pressure, pre-diabetic. One day his doctor says to him,
the path that you're on, you might feel well now at then 31, I'm 32 now. But the path that you're on, in a couple of years, you know, you don't want to be one of those guys that just checks out in their 40s. And, you know, thinking about the kids, it scared the shit out of me. You know, so at that point I said, I gotta make a change.
And make a change is exactly what Ron did.
Broccoli, carrots, beans. When the doctor gave me all of that bad news, the first thing I thought about was my children. You finish your homework?
Yes.
Finish your homework?
Yes.
I'm just thinking like, whoa, what would they do without their dad? You know, I want to be here to, you know, see them go through high school, to college, to the weddings, the whole 9 yards that everybody wants for their children. And it just really, really hit me hard, like a bag of bricks.
That bag of bricks would include a prescription for hypertension medication. A family history of chronic disease treated in this manner led Ron to say this to his doctor.
I said, look, I don't want to take these horse pills that I've seen people in my family taking. I mean, these gigantic pills. And I think if I could, really try and get my, fitness together and my health and my eating habits together, I think I can, fight whatever I'm, doing to myself. And that's what I did. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be so good. Now I'm to the point where I kind of record everything I eat.
Frozen vegetables, baby. Way to go.
Just thinking, how I was eating before, and I was easily consuming 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories in a day. And then you couple that with absolutely no activity. It's a recipe for disaster, absolutely.
For Ron's recipe for success, he quickly realized that some sort of activity was an essential ingredient. So he began walking, which turned into jogging, which led Ron to a local Globo gym. There was just one problem.
I don't know what to do. I go to the gym and I have no clue what to do. I don't know, you get on the treadmill, I have no clue. So I saw this thing called CrossFit in my neighborhood where I work. I saw the CrossFit Games, which is insane. And I just said, I wonder, what it is.
Ron works in Midtown Manhattan, home to some of New York's most iconic buildings. It's also home to the Big Apple's oldest box, CrossFit NYC.
My name's Erica, if you don't know me. This is functional strength, so just make sure you're in the right spot. What we're doing today, guys, we have axle bar deadlifts. So we'll be working with the fat bar right here. 5 sets of 5. Ideally, we're working at the same weight across the board. Faster past your knee. Squeeze your butt. Yep.
Erica is the type of coach that's going to push you. She's not going to settle for your okay.
Good.
You're not just going to breeze through the class. She's going to push you.
Still looks very manageable. Go up.
But the biggest thing is that she's really going to make sure that your form's great, that you're doing it safe, before anything else. That's the really, really great quality about her that I like.
From my experience, a lot of people are deterred to start CrossFit because they think you have to be fit to do CrossFit. And I'm like, no, you come here to get fit. So he's a good example to show to the masses that you don't have to be fit to do CrossFit. Wherever your starting point is, we're just here to move you, along that wellness continuum.
Squeeze your butt. Yep, there you go.
One of the things that, Coach Erica does here at the box is she does these nutrition classes. And the biggest thing that I'd say most of us probably learned from her, especially me, was about the perception of eating and kind of eating to support your active lifestyle as opposed to mindless eating. And she really just hammered those things home.
Well, do you feel like your kids are getting healthier now too?
The changes that Ron has made with his nutrition is super simple, right? Eat real food, right? Eliminate processed garbage. And what I found most inspiring when he was telling me about the changes he had made, he was like, the stuff that I was eating, I was feeding my kids.
Broccoli, carrot. Oh, it looks like this. All I see in mine is it's not a peppers or that to me. All I see in mine is broccoli.
They swore they never liked vegetables, but now we're eating vegetables. I mean, I just really want to, provide a good example for the kids of a healthy lifestyle, active eating, and, challenging yourself daily, making good decisions, and just being a good role model for them.
I remember you showing us when you're doing the weight thing, and you just kept on adding more weight.
I did?
Yeah.
Keep talking. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think it must be really painful.
It's not painful, it's hard, but it's healthy, it's good.
Oh yeah, at school, when you came for the trip, this girl in my class, she was like, oh my gosh, your father lost weight.
She
Like,
did?
a lot of weight. Like, and most people said they couldn't recognize you.
Wow.
He's just the kind of guy who just like shows up and does the work. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the secret sauce is consistency with getting healthy. Everyone wants the perfect meal plan, the perfect exercise regimen. Like, there isn't one. It's the one that you're going to do. And I think that's what he's been doing. He shows up.
Very rarely are we doing like the same exact workout, if ever. So it's extremely varied. And that was one of the things that drew me into it too. But I know myself, sometimes I need to just give myself a little push. I'm training to run in the 2018 New York City Marathon.
I think that has a lot to say about the level of confidence that he's built in his own abilities and capacity. I would guess if you asked him 6 months ago, like, do you want to run a marathon, or do you think you could run a marathon? I don't think he, would say that was possible.
Now that I've gone from a 48 waist size to 34, from 280 pounds to 196 pounds, and and just walking is easier, and climbing stairs and running after the kids, and all of these things are just so much easier. Sometimes people will ask and they'll say, hey man, wow, you lost a lot of weight, and then they go, well, what'd you do? How'd you do it? And what are you doing? And I say, well, I changed my diet and I got active. And they go, no, really, like, what'd you do? I said, no, there's no secret pill. It's, well, okay, well, no, it's not easy. No, no, it's not easy at all. It's a total change in your lifestyle.
My blood pressure, well, it was out of control. Sometimes it would go up to 190 over, well, it got up really, really high, like over 90 or 100.
And you get to a point where you think, well, that's it, that's what I can do, it's, this is good enough. And then you start something like this new and you say, you know what, there's more.
The better you feel, the better life you have. The more that you do, that anybody can sit and watch TV for 14 hours a day, and piddle around and never get anything done. So, you can sit back and do nothing and be sorry for, just waiting for something to happen, or you can make it happen, and you have some control over how it happens.
I've been running, I could not believe my race, the difference in my time after about 4 or 5 months here. And I hadn't been training more, it just happened. From the 5K, I think my time actually went down 5-6 minutes.
My blood pressure has changed. It has dropped a lot when I work out. CrossFit is wonderful.
The excellence of how you do things is the measurement of a good life, and that your life is up to you to make it better, to make it meaningful.
CrossFit genera comunidad y CrossFit hace que la gente sea mejor, que se mejore. Y creo que es poder llevar lo que hacemos adentro del box y alcanzar a la gente que no tiene la posibilidad de venir al box.
Acérquense que explico lo que vamos a hacer.
Es eso de ocuparse por nosotros, de ocuparse de transmitir esto que hacemos, ocuparse por las cosas correctas, las personas correctas y las causas correctas. Y poder llegar a ellos y ver que ellos cómo lo sienten, cómo lo viven también y cómo lo agradecen a su manera es gratificante por todos lados. El dolor de hoy es la fuerza de mañana. Puede estar lloviendo, puede hacer frío, pero solo pensar en esa sonrisa de esos chicos hace que valga todo la pena.
Day 2 of the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games continue as we move from event number 6 to event number 7 here at the Morgan Hill Outdoor Sports Center. I'm Chase Ingham, and alongside with me is Bill Grundler. And men's standings out after 6 events. Matt Fraser is just piling it on. Justin Medeiros and Noah Olsen tied for second place. How many times are going to see these ties on the leaderboard?
Well, and I think it's great that we are seeing it like that because it makes every single event that much more important. In that second place race between Justin and Noah is a big deal. This is an important event, an important opportunity for Noah so that he can make that jump. He's been flirting with that in and out over the different events, but I think this will be a great event for him to make that jump over Justin Medeiros.
And one of the fastest events we have in the sport will be event number 7, the Snatch Speed Triple.
And I love the way this is set up. It's 3 rounds, and we eliminate 1 athlete every single time. So we go from 5 to 4 to 3. You can see the weights there up on the screen. It does get heavy, and it does get heavy fast. We've done these types of events before. This is nothing new. But these weights are very aggressive, and I like the way it's really going to push these athletes.
Ooh. Ever see anyone playing musical chairs with a 220-pound barbell? You're about to. Men's event number 7, the Snatch Speed Triple, is set and ready to go, starting with the quarterfinal. I'm Chase Ingham, and alongside with me is Bill Grundler. Nikki Brazier joining us shortly. Your champ, 4-time CrossFit Games champion Matt Fraser, looking for 5th, sitting in lane number 3. Bracketed by Noah Olsen, who pushed him for second place last year, and Medeiros, who could be pushing him for second place this year.
And that has been a really fun fight. But one of the things that we heard early before the events even started was Jeff Adler. He called this one out. He said this was the event he was going to win, and what he wanted to do was to be able to look across the floor and look at Matt and then hit it before he wins it. So this is going to be, I mean, that's a Babe Ruth call right there. It's an aggressive call. But when you have someone that's so confident, just so awesome at everything he touches, that's going to be a big thing. That's a big bat to swing, but this is going to be a race. I want to see if he can hang in there.
Of the 6 events we've had so far, Matt Fraser has won 5 of them as we move into event number 7. Now, we will start with the quarterfinal of this Snatch Speed Triple. You'll have 1 snatch, 225, 235, 245, and it's any way overhead. You can squat, you can power, but one thing you need to do is to go fast. Quarterfinal underway. Your 4-time CrossFit Games champion in the middle lane in lane number 3 in the white shirt. Matt Fraser's over the bar at 225, but at the bottom of your screen, Jeffrey Adler, who called his shot early, staying pace with the champ. Noah Olsen in lane 2 between them, trying to stay with Fraser. The last minute cross will be out, and Noah Olsen misses. Medeiros misses, and it's going to be between the two of them to determine who will move on to the semifinal, and it's going to be Noah Olsen ahead of Medeiros, and he did not need that in that deadlock points tie with Olsen coming into this round.
Well, I'm going to say this. Noah got a gift on that event, on that round. If you miss any of these, you are going to be at the bottom half. You just don't have a chance to make it up. But he got that chance when Justin missed his as well. So Justin is now out. Noah is back in. That's great for him. That means he's going to get more points and be able to make that jump over Justin. But Noah can't have mistakes like that. But, oh my gosh, Fraser looked so good. And he wasn't even worried about this round. This was a warm-up round. Noah needed this event. Had that miss, and I think that was just, it was a little bit too anxious. You can't get over anxious, especially in these early rounds. You have to have that position to make it hit it. But who I was really impressed with was Jeff Adler in that first run through. He looked solid. Justin Medeiros had a rough go of it. We know overhead, as we saw with in the total yesterday, he doesn't have the same strength that these other athletes do overhead. At least not experienced yet, and this hurt him on that first round.
So Medeiros will be eliminated. So we start with 5 and we'll cut down for 4 as we move from the quarterfinal to semifinal. Now, take a look at the keys to this. We were talking about this earlier for the speed triple brought to you by Ron Watt.
So first off the gate, power, precision. You need to be able to hit it, and you need to know that you can hit it. And then the next one, miss one and you're done. And that really is the true setup here. And we saw that with Justin Medeiros. If you miss it, you're going to be out. Noah got lucky because Justin also missed his. That was the only reason he got that second chance.
And power and precision is exactly where you're talking, because it just looked like they were rushing through this, and the intensity is forced with only 3 bars. Traditionally, it's been 5, but with only 3 and cutting so quickly, it's forcing these athletes to move fast. But Matt Fraser will win the quarterfinal, just a 1/10 of a second ahead of Jeffrey Adler, who has called his shot here in this event. Quant and Olsen will advance into the semifinal. Now the weights will go up. We're going to go from the last bar being 245 to the first bar being 245, followed by 255 and 265. One will not move on into the final after this heat.
Stand by.
.245 the first bar. Jeffrey Adler on the left side of your screen will have the first bar up, but Matt Fraser will be to the second bar first as they go from 245 to 255, and Fraser is done again as he moves in the third and final bar at 265. No problem for Fraser, and he will win the semifinal. Adler just dropped 265 in the left part of your screen and opened the door for Quant and Olsen. Quant missed, Adler missed for the second time in a row, and Noah Olsen missed.
So right here, these guys have to remember, yes, they're in a race, but all of them need to stop, which they all have done. I think that's smart. Now it's, you got to make it. You got to be ready to make it.
All 3 athletes lined up for the bar at the same exact time. Quant will hit at the top of your screen. Adler will hit at the bottom, and Noah Olsen will not advance to the final round.
So the person that I saw looking back and forth was Matt Fraser. He came across, hit that lift. He looked across the floor again. Cool, calm, confident. Knew what was happening, but if you're going to make a big claim like Jeff Adler did, like that's a bold move. I don't think it's wrong that he did that. In fact, I'm glad that he did. But you got to make sure you hit your lifts.
Our final 3 are set, are ready for the final round. The stage is set for the final round of event number 7 here at the Morgan Hill Outdoor Sports Center. I'm Chase Ingram. Alongside with me, Bill Gruther and Nikki Fraser will be joining us shortly. And after 2 rounds of elimination, we've cut down to 3. And we'll start with Jeffrey Adler, who called his shot early, but he better back it up coming into the final round.
He really needs to be careful, and he can't let himself get frustrated. Now, all the athletes missed, but we have to remember, this weight that they missed is the first weight that these athletes start with. So if he's planning on going big, he needs to be much more confident when he steps up to that bar. This is what confidence looks like. When you know you're going to race and you know that you need to hit these weights, you need to make him look like that, and that's why he's the champ.
Noah Olsen, who's your second place finisher last year at the 2009 Reebok CrossFit Games, just got eliminated in the semifinal, so he will not be in this final heat.
Which is rough because you know he wants in there, but that's the points that he needed over Justin Medeiros, again, to make that second place movement in his position.
Your final results of the semifinal: Fraser at 25 seconds, twice as fast as anyone else on the field with Quant and Adler. But as the weights will increase, they finished with 265, and now they will start with 265.
So everyone in the field except for Matt missed this weight. So Jeff, I hope, is not letting that affect him as he goes into this. He needs to know that he can hit that and then march through as well. Now Matt didn't. There was no issue, no bobble, no anything on this event. This is his event to take. He only needs to go as fast as the other guys are pushing him, and I just don't know if he's going to get the push. And then Samuel Quant, you know what, this is a great position for him to be in. We haven't really talked a lot about him. Either he's going big or he's kind of in the back somewhere. This is a great spot for him to be in that third place position. He has a chance. If Jeff gets a little frustrated, he has a chance to take second. That would be a lot of points for him.
We also have history possibly in the making, because Tia Toomey is the only athlete to win 4 straight CrossFit Games event. If Matt were to take this one, he would tie her for that accomplishment. Final wave underway, starting with 265 pounds. Matt Fraser to the bar first in the white jersey, and he will hit that and step forward. Adler not missing that one. Jeffrey Adler on the lane number 1 at the bottom part of your screen, but Fraser already ready and through 275. Adler will hit it as well, so he's on his heels. We said, if you miss, you're done. Matt's going to need to hit this one.
Oh!
Drops it in front. Oh. That opens the door for Jeffrey Adler.
Waiting to see if we can see that look or who's going to look here.
But Matt gets to the bar first, and he'll stand up with it, and Matt Fraser will win event number 7.
The tempo of this heat was so much different than we've seen in the other ones because of how heavy these weights were. Now, even though Matt did have that miss,
Come on, Sam. Come on, Jeff.
That's not a down mark or a down play on him, what he was doing. I think he just kind of wanted to get through there, a little bit out of position. But these other 2 athletes, I think that the weight, they really had to think about him way more than Matt did, and that's why they really slowed down. Matt wasn't pressured by these guys at all.
Samuel Quant is still at 275 as Adler is at the 285. Now, if it stands like this until the cap, Adler will get second, Quant will get third. Adler will miss 285 again, so he really just needs to kind of look over his shoulder and see where Quant is. If Quant hits this, he's going to have to step up and hit it as well if he wants to break that tie for second. Quant on the right side of your screen. He'll get 275, and now the pressure's on Adler if he wants to secure that solid second place finish for this event. Quant setting up at 275. Jeffrey Adler at the bottom part of your screen. Matt Fraser on the left side of your screen is basically recovered from the event, watching on. Little game of cat and mouse between Adler and Quant. Adler will step up to the bar first, but here comes Samuel Quant. Quant just hit 275. And at the top part of your screen, just out in front front, so it's on Jeffrey Adler to hit 285, and if he stays on the platform, it's good.
Oh, that was a great finish
And
for Jeff.
Adler will secure second place for event number 7.
A nice way to finish. You saw him start to move forward, and one of the issues he's been having with the heavier weight, just not able to keep that bar back, but way to finish and make that rep count.
Samuel Quant still has some time to hit this lift. Now, he doesn't have to hit it to secure third place. He's already locked that up by making the final part. And he'll nail it anyway. So Sam Quant hits 285, and he'll lock up third place in men's event number 7. And it seemed like ages ago, but Matt Fraser just won his 6th event of the 7 that we've had, and his 4th consecutive.
I swear, this guy is having his own competition. He's running his own competition all by himself. But I was really happy to see Quant, even though he had those stumbles in the beginning, able to finish it out. He didn't have to finish, but that's what gamesmanship is all about. That was awesome. Now, Jeff Adler, we knew that this round was going to be tough. We saw him bobble on that first weight, which was the last weight of the second round, which was the first one here. Made that nice and easy, great positioning, but then just couldn't keep up with Matt there in the back part of your screen. It was this last weight that gave him some struggles, but he was able to make that attempt, that step, kept him on that platform where he was able to get that second place finish. And again, wasn't what he was saying as far as looking over to Matt, but a great finish for him. And then Matt, I mean, perfection. Confidence, poise. He steps up to the bar. He knows exactly what he's going to do. I mean, look at this positioning. Boom. Even though there was that little miss, wasn't pushed.
Quick step up back to the bar, and then Matt nails 285. It's weird when the only blemish is a missed lift, but you still win the entire event. Matt Fraser down with Nikki Brazier.
Matt, you knew that yesterday Jeff Adler called his shot when it came to this event. How much sweeter does that make this moment for you?
You know, I mean, we've been having some fun banter in the back of, you know, just saying who's gonna beat who, and you know, Adler, I don't think there's a doubt that he's probably the strongest guy out here. So I mean, this one just came down to timing, technique, you know, how well you know yourself. But yeah, you know, I missed that last bar. I saw him walking up. I wanted to get my second attempt in before he got his hands on the bar in case he hit it on his first one. So yeah, it worked out well.
For sure. Now, you have so much experience on the competition floor at the CrossFit Games, at other events. I know you're methodical about how you handle sort of everything around the competition itself. But 2020 is such a different year. How are you handling the differences in this year's competition?
There aren't really any differences. You know, for me and what I focus on, you know, I like that there's no music. I don't mind that there's no crowd. You know, it's the same for me. I'm looking at the guys to the right and left of me. I'm trying to tap every ounce of my potential. Yep. So with all the changes, I still focus on me, and I have full control over that.
Mentally, I know the mental game is just as important as the physical one. After a day and a half of competition, is it affected at all, or are you feeling good moving forward?
No, I mean, same attitude as when I came in. Yep. You know, physically feeling good, mentally feeling good, ready for, I'm sure Dave has some more good events up his sleeve, so prepared for those.
Well, congrats. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt Fraser wins event number 7. That's his 6th win of the weekend, and it shows on the leaderboard. Fraser, 330-point lead. That is nearly the points that Noah Olsen has in total for second place.
It's amazing that he can be so good and so humble and still acting like it's his first time in here. That's what's impressive about Matt Fraser.
Now, the day is not over. We've already had 2. We have 2 more events yet to come, and the bike repeater for event number 8 is going to be a very exciting event coming up. And then that last one tonight for event number 9, we don't know what it is. We don't know where it's going to be. We just know it's going to happen. Matt Fraser, 6 event wins of the 7, dominating the field here at the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games.